Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this morning mountain weather update, and the bonus snow really came through. I really considered everything that fell yesterday and last night to be bonus snow on top of what we're going to get in the actual storm cycle, which starts today. But look at Steamboat. Absolutely nailed last night, reporting like 19 inches in the last 48 hours, 14 in the last 24 hours. I mean, look how good it is up there. And Steamboat's got a lot of snow on the way. Vail also, it is snowing and it is blowing up there in the Vail area. I think they're reporting 9 inches in the last 24 hours. Again, just the start of what's going to be this the storm cycle with 3 different storm systems. Let me take you over to my latest data trends. Here's what I'm seeing this morning. Again, bonus snow the last 24 hours. And then we've got this 3-storm cycle, 1/6 through 1/15. So that starts today with feet of grand total accumulation. Storm number 3 is interesting, like I was saying yesterday afternoon in the update, but its track and its intensity continue to evolve. The data is shifting around for that time frame around 112, 113, 114, 115. There's a third storm, but we're going to have to see how the pattern actually evolves. California, you've got snow 1/6, 1/9, 1/10, and again 1/13, 1/14 with that third storm system. The Arctic blast that looked like it was going to be a thing yesterday and the day before, now it looks like there may still be some very cold air, but not as cold, and it may be more of a glancing blow. We'll see. That's all part of that storm number 3. That's what's really going to bring that colder air down. So it depends, if does the pattern support it? We'll find out as we get closer. But it's a possibility. In the Northeast, you've still got 3 storm systems. The first one today, moderate to heavy accumulation, and we'll talk about the latter 2 as well in this forecast. Let me take you back to the water vapor this morning. I went ahead and marked the features. So you've got that area of low pressure. Let me just get the pen out here. So you've got the area of low pressure out across. Here's the storm system for the Northeast. Here's our pattern changing low. That's storm number 1. Mark that. So that's storm number 1. And this is going to be storm number 2 out here. So what's happening is this storm number 1 will be the rotator. And then everything will come in behind it and basically follow the same track. And there's a storm number 3 as well. All of these, you can see the reach. The fetch is out of Alaska and Canada with the northern branch, so that's going to bring that colder air into the lower 48. And you can see, look at the leading edge of this, so it's coming. And that's what's going to generate that next round of snow today and tomorrow across the Intermountain West. All right, let me show you the forecast radar and satellite. So that's the situation by this afternoon. Here comes the storm, the leading edge. There's our snow in earnest by tomorrow morning. Tetons, Wasatch, Idaho, Colorado, and throughout the day it just continues to do the same thing. Snow. And there's early 1/8. The low's pulling out of Colorado. Here comes storm number 2 into the Pacific Northwest. And it's got its own cold air. There's 1/9 in the afternoon. Here's 1/10. So early 1/10, you're looking at pretty widespread snow. A nice pattern here with snow hitting the Tetons, Wasatch, Colorado, Montana, Idaho, everybody getting on the action there. And then watch what happens here. So on 1/11 here comes the latter storm. So this is the end of storm 2, and then you can see potentially the third storm coming into the Pacific Northwest. So you've got second storm moving through Colorado, New Mexico late on the 11th, and the next batch of snow already coming in from the Pacific Northwest. So very interesting. And there's actually a couple of different areas associated with that third storm system. That's not the only area of snow that's going to develop. That's what makes it a little bit uncertain at this point. I'm just not sure exactly how deep this trough is going to be for that third storm. All right, let me show you what the jet looks like, and this will probably explain it a little bit better. Here's the first storm. You can see it is a deep trough on 1/7, 1/6, 1/7. That's the pattern changer. So here's 1/10. This is the second storm system. Big, broad trough with a definite reach of cold air, a lot of jet support, amplified jet all the way up into Alaska and Canada, reaching up there into the Northwest Territories. So that's 1/10. Here's 1/14. So by 1/14, the trough is not as deep. It's not as deep. In other words, it doesn't reach as far south as what we were thinking. And the jet, and you may have seen the update from yesterday afternoon, the jet was just crazy, going crazy on 113, 114. It doesn't look like that today in the latest guidance. in California is not quite in the mix as much on that third storm. So there's a definite shift in the depth of the trough, the strength of the storm system, in other words, throughout the atmospheric layers. So it'll have to be watched. There's something there for sure. All right, let's go to the grand totals map. So again, all of today through 1:15, this is all three storm systems combined. So again, not all the snow, it doesn't all come at one time. But you can see the grand totals. Again, the bonus snow we had yesterday, this is on top of what we had yesterday and last night. So we've got 40 coming to Alta. We've got, potentially a couple of feet coming, 1 to 2 feet to Colorado, especially the western slope in southwest Colorado. I should say anywhere you see purple and magenta, that's a foot or more. And there's a lot of aerial coverage with a foot or more here. I mean, most places, most mountain ranges are going to get a foot or more. In the Sierra, I've dialed that back. That third storm, just the uncertainty. I'm not sure how much snow we're going to get out of that third storm, so those numbers are in flux. They could go back up. In the Pacific Northwest, been very steady with these numbers, 40 to 50 inches. Washington and Oregon. Central to northern Idaho, been very steady with these numbers, a couple of feet. Northwest Montana looking good. The Tetons, pretty steady there, 2 to 3 feet. Up in parts of interior BC, Kicking Horse, Revelstoke, Red Mountain, Fernie, looking like they're just really in good shape, 1 to 2 feet for most of those areas. So that's grand total. Let me break it down by phase, but first I want to show you what the forecast radar satellite could look like on the 13th. So I showed you what it could look like up until the 11th. Here's the 13th. This is that final storm system coming out of the Pacific Northwest. You can see there's definitely something there. By 1:15, it starts to dry up. So 1:12, 1:13, 1:14 is probably the key period for snow production with that third storm, and then it starts to dry up, although there is still some snow here on 1:15. But where does that Arctic front end up? That's a big question in my mind. All right, let me break it down by period. So 1:6 through 1:9 today, this is all part of the first storm system. You can see the numbers that will accumulate over that roughly 3-day period. Phase 2, 1:9 through 1:11, this is storm number 2. Impressive numbers in the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and the Tetons. Storm number 3, this is where the numbers are in flux the most. 1:12 through 1:15. Again, most of that snow is probably 1:12 through 1:13, early 1:14. But you get the idea. Some big numbers through the Wasatch and in parts of the central and northern mountains of Colorado, especially the western slope. So I'll keep an eye on that period in particular. Let me take you up to the northeast. So the numbers here looking like 1 to 2 feet for most of Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, New York State. Again, 1/6, 1/7, so that's happening today, tomorrow. Moderate to heavy, that'll account for part of this. The 1/9, 1/10 storm system is still a powerhouse with 70-mile-an-hour winds coming to the big ski areas. The problem is it will be heavy snow at the onset on 1/9, but it's going to change to rain, snow, and potentially all rain for some locations into 1/10. Because of the track, it's too far inland. It pushes the warm sector up to the ski areas. The latter storm, late in the period, around 1:13, that one still looks like it could lay down moderate to heavy snow, assuming the track stays about where it is. So these are the grand totals, 1/6 through 1:15. All right, we're going to end again, like I've been doing the last few days, on the grand total map. Again, 1/6 through 1:15, major storm cycle, 3 storm systems, and most areas, most mountain ranges get a foot or more, a foot plus, and that purple magenta. Guys, thanks for tuning in here. Just enjoy all that new snow today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Just be safe. Take care.